ago. One of the first support groups I ever ran for former cult members. There were two current Scientologists who signed up for the support group. And I was thinking, that's odd. Why are they signing up? And they were very clear to say, we are Scientologists and we are signing up for your support group. And I said, it's a former cult member support group. What is your reason for joining? Well, one said, I used to be Jewish. And another one said, I used to be Christian. I said, okay, well, I don't know if they're really known as cults, but I said, the fact that you keep telling me you're Scientologist over and over again means something. So what does it mean? And so it came to mean that they wanted to be able to go to the group because they were sure there were people in the support group who had left Scientology and hadn't been open about it yet. So they could then collect that data and report them back to the group. And when I got a sense of that they were being overly curious about the people who were there and their backgrounds and what group they were in and finding out private information about them, I told them that they could no longer return. And then they tried to sue me for religious persecution.
Oh, yeah.
And that was fascinating, right? Because then if you're a church and so that's why they said we are Scientologists, so that I knew that. So that could then be the reason that I then kicked them out. And so it went nowhere, which is a good thing. But it could have gone farther. And it could have been that, I had to deal with the law in keeping them from getting involved in a support group where they were there really to spy and to harass. And I thought, wow, it is so interesting that I don't have rights here necessarily, but they do. Right. It was fascinating.
Yeah. Well, in the whole notion of religious exemption is something that, you look at it historically, and I think many scholars would agree was set in place in order to protect religious freedoms, really, right? But then what's happening is the more that religious groups are receiving public funds, and many of them are happy to receive that money, the more it actually works against them in the long run. And yet they have all of these exemptions they can claim. Exemptions on any number of things. There's something called the ministerial exception, again, which has its foundation in, I believe, in employment law, but essentially there are ways that ministers or religious leaders can really get away with a lot of harm that they are inflicting on individuals, so long as they can point to the religious teaching and say, my actions line up with my religious convictions. And so if they can do that, our law says that's okay.